I almost got hit.
What? With what?
I have so many issues with what he just said. I'm sorry. I actually tried to look for the guy with you for a hot second. Welcome to the Netsanet podcast. This is
Lata and Zion.
Today for our LB section, we want to talk about events we miss.
Yes, and events we actually enjoyed enough to miss. Okay.
Well, that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Is she?
I'm gonna let you go first, considering you have more experience in this branch.
Is she? What I miss is Majamara, Tropical Food Fest, Beer Fest. Depends on how they name it. Every time, good. Like they used to have those. It was such and it was before the current wave of events happened, and it was a new thing. It was a garden. Usually they would go for these green areas. Na ምግብ ቤቶች ምናምን አሉ ከዛ መጠጥ አለ ሁሉም ነገር it comes together, and if you I go for the food, so like you get to have discountoች አሉ popular places ሆነው ግን discounted የሆነ easily እዛው ተሰርቶ የሚሰጥሽ ምግብ አለ አሁን I feel like that has become a trend overall በፊት ግን it wasn't that, so it was the first time we got to experience that, and you could go with any age group. Well, don't take your kids, good, you know what I mean. አጎቶችሽን ማግኘት ትችያለሽ አክስቶችሽን ማግኘት ትችያለሽ እዛ መጀመሪያ ላይ በኋላ ላይ አይደለም መጀመሪያ ላይ when the event became a thing. It was inclusive and fun, and also it was the first time I heard Johanna album የመጀመሪያው ሳይመጣ በፊት, and I thought his voice was beautiful, so I was excited about all that, and now it was fun. That is the thing I miss the most. Other than that, I almost got hit.
What? With what?
So I don't like beer. I did not like beer then more than I
dislike it now. Actually,
cuz that's the only thing you get. Yani sponsor የሚደረገው በbeer companies ነበረ. Now you'd get a cup of beer, cuz like you try to drink ሰለቸኝ ነው ፓርት ላይ እና የጓደኛችን ግሩፕ ነበረ እና እንዳለ ነበሩ, so I was like
I've heard this story.
so like I'm shorter than all of them, so is he again. Let's not go there. They're very tall men and I'm like waist ያነ ከደረታቸው በታች ነው my full body height ነው ከዛ መጠጣቸውን ይዘው ወሬ ሲያወሩ ሄጄ ያረካል I was like ድፍት እና like it stopped being cute መጀመሪያ haha stop ነበር. I was like by the time I reached more than 5, so
she apologizes.
I did apologize multiple times. They just
I like እነሱ ራሱ ከፍ አለ ማድረጋቸው ነው like if you're that short ለምን ከፍ አድርጎ አይዙትም
ይረሱታል. They would like start dancing or we would have a conversation ምናምን ይረሳል and I'd do it again. At least they just stopped at hating me, you know what I mean. It's like ታስጠላለች and that was it. So I survived that ከዛ ግን እስካሁን like this is roughly 10 years ago, and roughly I'm not sure if it's accurate.
It's such a long time
8 to 10 years ago. So አሁንም like ያኮረፉኝ ሰዎች
we've met them in person and it's actually like, very funny.
I know
every
like,
time
again it's not cute anymore, like get over it
please. Like let's process it. It's her version of saying let's process it. Get over it. So like
I can say that we have that type of relationship. The banter is that way.
Do they know it's that way?
መንገድ ላይ ጥሎኝ ሄዶ ያውቃል
What? Why?
አንድ ኮሌጅ ነበር እና
ድጋሚ ደፋሽበት?
ኖ አቂሞብኛልና like የምር መንገድ ቀይሮ ሄደ። አየኝና ፈገጋለና ተሻገረና ሄደ። I feel bad for like እስከዛሬ አምልጫቸው ለሄድኩት ዱርዬዎች. That's how they felt አልኩኝ.
Oh no.
Almost.
Okay, the event I like. I have to say it again, even though we actually did a whole episode about this. Your jazz night atmosphere and open mic atmosphere. I love those nights because for two things. Jazz night and badafo cover arganwal. But open mic lay, the artists you see and the artists you actually have the pleasure to listen to, but am garami sawosh nacho. And I know they're just very humble and they don't really know how good they are. And some of them come up with fresh ideas and a fresh sound as a whole. And it takes a lot of courage to go up to the stage surrounded by people you don't know and perform that well. And then perform well enough for you to actually put people into your contact list after them. Lela category no. There was this artist, sadly, I don't remember his name. By the time he performed and was done with it, all of us wanted his Instagram account because he was that good. He was a rapper and a singer. No, we were just fascinated by his talent.
The one you sent me?
Oh, I think so. No, but I'm garami, no? No, that's one of the things I loved. However, the things I didn't like about it was stage alabet area, considerably small area, no? Which means it's very hard for you to actually see the talent if you're not in the frontal area. But with our height, feet kaltaqamet or feet bota kalagenish, it's incredibly impossible to see anybody. Support ትንሽ ቀር ይለኛል every time.
እኔ ደግሞ ማነሷ the music መስማት ብቻበት area ማነሱ ያናደኛል. or at least የሆነ ስፒከር ውጪ ኮኔክት ቢያደርጉልን.
I thought you liked that part. Like you wanted
I like the quiet and the I know. Like I think getting older has affected me. It's like I hate clubs now, and what it has been replaced with is like ማውራት ምትችይበት ቦታ. Like መጠጣት የሚፈልግ ሰው ይጠጣ ማይጠጣ አይጠጣ ግን like I want to be able to hear you without screaming or having you scream at me, and that works amazingly. But live artist አምጥተሽ and you have like at least like 900 to let's say atmosphere no 200-300 ሰው አለን ውጪ right ውስጥ የሆነ I don't think ሃምሳ ሰው በላይ የሚያስቀምጥ አይመስለኝም።
አያስቀምጥም በጭራሽ።
ያንን opportunity መውሰዱ I think it doesn't make sense. ድምጹንም ቀንሰሽ ቢሆን I think it should be connected to the outside speakers.
like ደግሞ sliding doors ስላለው ከውጭ ጋር is something you can actually exercise and work with ብዬ አስባለሁ። They're amazing artists, amazing poets. There's this female poet እንደውም ግጥም ሲጥም ላይ on all of their events አለች እና ሂዋን የሚባል ግጥም አላት. By far my favorite ግጥም I've ever heard. ማለት my favorite ልለው አልችልም, but live ከሰማቸው my favorite የነበረው እሱ ነው. እና to this day ሁለቴ ሰምቼዋለሁ እሱን ግጥም. I still love it because it was written for our modern women in the perspective of people.
I think I've heard it.
You've heard it, አይደለ?
Again, I don't enjoy listening to poetry.
Okay, we're in public.
No, reading it. No, I love reading it. Listening it, it's like cringe.
የነሱ ኮንትራትም ስላለ ነው የነሱ perspective of it through their voice ስላለ ነው.
No, it's there's no way I could articulate this and it would come out right. So let's just skip.
Which I loved that poetry ግጥም ሲጥምም and all of their programs በጣም ወደው ሆኗል because of that one girl that performed ሂዋን የሚለውን ግጥምና to this day the fact that she wrote it for the modern women in the perspective of all the people that have been all the women that have been before us, it's just amazing to see and hear.
Okay. What I also miss በርሜል ግን መጀመሪያ
oh that was
later half ሳይሆን መጀመሪያ that was good.
Zoya በርሜልም every time you meet everybody that you've lost, it's like lost and found for people no every person high school ላይ የተለያየ ሹ ሊሆን ይችላል, the person you never remember ሊሆን ይችላል, but እዛ event stage somehow some way ትገናኛለሽ.
I mean the city is smaller than we think.
It really
everybody
is.
knows everybody goes everywhere, but like what I'm which is also why I can no longer go to like these particular events that we're mentioning. Like me and the people I see at work keep meeting there. And the boundaries can no longer
be more blurred.
They are blurred. Like they're not blurred per se because when I'm at work and now when I'm at these places, I'm different people and I am not approachable at work. Even the people who were my juniors when I was at school, እዛው ስለነበርኩኝ, and we would meet and my office voice ሲወጣ they're like, ma'am. So አሁን ደግሞ በዚህኛው ዳይሬክሽን የሚያገኙኝ ልጆች ደግሞ even more so distant ናቸው ከኔ. so የፈለገ ብንተያይ it's not going to matter really. ግን like I don't like having to see them. I'm sick and tired of it.
ግን like አሁን በርሚል በጣም ደስ የሚለኝ ፓርት ልንገርሽ. and አሁንም ባለፈው የሄድንበት ጃክሮስ ኤሪያ ላይ ያለው
the venue
the venue, the styles of people በጣም ደስ የሚለኝ ፓርት ነው. there is a whole group of people that have their own sense of style and I love looking at them because it wasn't like እኛ ያሳለፍነው generation አለ where everybody was wearing skinny jeans and a top and flat shoes, but that's the style.
In different colors. ያለፈን የሚመስል ነገር.
Exactly.
Did you have the colorful ones?
No. I didn't even have the ripped ones, ልንገርሽ. I hated the ripped jeans. Hated.
ማለት like bless my little heart. I have gone through all of them. I had a red and a green one. The green one had rips. No. It's not even cute green. Like it's green. Cuz I had a ripped one that went from here to here and indeed የተተለተለ, and my pale skin would like ጥቁር ነው ሱሪው. There's no missing me. መንገድ ላይ ይሄ.
And you bought it አይተሹ እንደዛ?
I was so excited. It's like, this is where I shine.
ግን like any event stage, everybody has their own sense of style. Even their hairstyle is not the same. እዚህ ጋር አፍሮ ታያለሽ፣ እዛ ጋር በዊቭ የተሰራ ታያለሽ,
slick back.
half shaved ልታይ ትችላለሽ. Yes, and it's amazing to see so many different styles and so many individuality like vibes. I like it.
My favorite thing ምን እንደሆነ ልንገርሽ. There's so much like individuality እንዳለ ሆኖ it all looks good on the right person.
Yeah.
It's like ድሮ ሳይሆን a couple of years back, if you went like when people were just breaking into weaves ምናምን, though there were dark years.
Yes.
There were very dark years.
Those were funny years and I find them very funny.
So this one time, I remember my friend who left the country. So yes, abro adegalech. I don't know her. I've only ever heard of her. Funnily enough, she's in abro adeg, but I've never seen the other one. Anyways, so the other one I've heard of for years but never met. And now in my helpful day, so I saw the weave. And now
I'm loving the self-awareness in that statement.
Helpful. So like I saw the weave and I wanted to leave and I was like, bruh, nakakotana, go home and brush this out. You're going to need to brush this in order for this to look remotely acceptable. But yet I didn't say anything. I just left.
To this day, I know that a bunch of style has messed us up. Our trust issues. I know it deeply because strangers come to me and check my hair. Without question, without permission, without consent, they give me like hair massage.
Kask afro masara የነበረ ጊዜ ትዝ ይልሻል? I had a weirdly color hair and it looked like I was wearing እንዲህ የሚደረግ
ኮፍያ.
Now they were like, my classmates would, is that your hair? Is like, does it look like a weave I'm willing to pay for? Look at it. It's a mess. I don't have this because I want my hair just natural. At that point, ሽተኛና ስነሳ ወደዚህ ቆሞ አርጋጋኛለሁ. Rather than fix this, I would fix this and leave the house. I committed to the bad idea. And it was alright. It wasn't like the best thing, but it wasn't really bad. So like, but I wouldn't buy that if that was a weave. I had a predicament.
We all know that one auntie that does though. That one auntie that...
You see it, huh? Anyways. እውነቱን ለመናገር I like to think myself as a cool auntie. You know? Sure.
Yes, I like to think myself as a basketball player, so...
No! እኔ ምልሽ ምንድነው ይሄ ፓሲቭ አግሬሲቭነስ ፖድካስት ከፍተን like ያን ተናጋሪ ነን ጥሩ ሰነን ብለን
I know that you would never actually buy that because like you're naturally into quality. No, we used to make a joke about this.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, it looks nice. Oh, way above your price range.
Yes.
Why
every
would you
time.
do that?
So like you can never be that auntie that goes for low quality bitfellig ማለት ነው.
Okay, thank you. That's a compliment. I'll take it.
I love that part.
What events do you wish never return?
What events? I can't say. I've never been to events that I actually regretted going. Usually ከእናንተ ጋር ነው የሚሄደው. Even if the event was not good, I have good company around me. So
yeah, we
like,
do manage to have fun, huh?
የትም ቦታ ሄደን ነው ያልኩ. Even in the worst case scenarios where we're walking on the street 8 ሰዓት ላይ we're talking and having fun and laughing somehow. No, I just...
The tension makes me laugh. I think it makes
you funnier. I want to hate the situation we're in, except I'm laughing with you. And that's, extremely a challenge to hate whatever circumstances we're in. So, I know, there's no
I don't hate it because I'm scared. But, like, it's a lose-lose situation, yes, being scared and mugged. Like fartashim mug tadargash, I think it's a lose-lose situation. So like mug madaragash kalkara, you might as well laugh into it.
And like there was this incident, I think Weber Milo Zoya, that somebody that we both didn't like was following us around.
Dark times.
Yeah. And funny enough, we're still laughing and having fun even while we're being chased around the whole event.
Oh my God, this one time, Zoya Hiji Sakare, I was telling people bird and fish facts.
And nobody said that's the one?
Well, they're my friends and they already know me, so unlikely.
You told everybody birds and fish facts? How did that even come up in your head? Like,
you know,
now that I'm drowning in alcohol.
You know.
Okay, what is the event you regret going to?
You know it. I don't want to say it just in case the future holds a place for this event. I don't want to say it, but you know which one it is.
I do.
I'm so excited.
You can say what was bad about it.
One, you left me, and I know you didn't have a good time. That sucked. Two, I linked with a group of people, and then I turned around back, yellow, and then like circle back. I found you with people, cause awala kuchalen did not have a good time, cause I got sick. Cause like I got really dehydrated and I wanted to leave. We had to stay there for a minute. Cause yeah, I did not enjoy that. Also, I didn't find food fast enough.
Oh, another thing I don't enjoy about this event is there's really, I don't think they understand affordable food የሚባለው ነገር.
well, ሰው ሲሰክር እኮ ካፕቲቭ ነው። ስለዚህ የፈለግሽውን ፕራይስ መጥራት ትችያለሽ።
ባይሆን let me tell you, I'm sorry, like it just popped in my mind. Something I loved about the last, I think Zoya መሰለኝ chargers ነበሩ.
Really?
Oh, 100 ብር ከፍለሽ ሰክተሽ ቻርጅ ያደርጉልሻል ስልክሽን.
We appreciate that idea.
Yeah, it was amazing. And he was Ethiopian graduate ነበረ, the person that was working the booth. And now, yes, we're very proud. Very, very proud. Entrepreneurship done right now.
Okay, I like that. That's a cool idea. You know what would be nice? You know what I wish would return? Radler. It's the perfect mixer. I know a lot of people don't like it, did not like it, and probably left.
That's why it left
the market. የሚያሳዝነው ነገር ግን like I remember እኔና our other friend ሄደን to this event ራድለር በነፃ እየተሰጠ ነበረ። ቢራ እየገዛን በራድለሩ ሚክስ እያደረግን እየጠጣን. It was the best thing. እና I wish አሁን ኖሮ ራድለር ባራዳ ሚክስ ለማድረግ I wish it still exists. Even like, here's the thing I hate about like የኛ ሀገር market. They don't give you enough time to like something. ቶሎ ካልተወደደ it will definitely get removed and not like not even a version of what you've liked አይመለስ
they can't afford it most of the companies እኮ ሲጀምሩ it's either success or failure ነው
ሌላ ሀገር እንኳን የከሰሩበትን አምጥተው
that was my last excuse የሰጠውሽ
I know ግን like እኛ ሀገር like 3 ወይ 3 I think that I can think of the top of my head ቢራ companies ነው ያሉት a lot of them under the two of the big names ነው ያሉት so ሁለቱ የዚህ ሀገር አይደሉ አንዱ ነው የዚህ ሀገር so እንደዛ ከሆነ they can give us back so that was it for Indelibe. We are joined by a guest today. Please introduce yourself. Should I do an intro for you?
I mean, give it a go.
እሺ ናትናኤል ታፈሰ ይባላል እንግዳችን ናትናኤል ታፈሰ I think you work in marketing አይደል
Yeah.
We know him from Twitter and we know him for gym activities.
Yes.
But funnily enough, I do not talk about the gym.
You don't? Why?
Because it doesn't exist in my realm of reality.
It's probably for the best.
It's probably for the
Not
best.
like the only thing I want to be known for.
You don't enjoy being known for the gym?
Not strictly that. Not a just one single thing, but I want to see it personally.
Well, and I know you for 2 things. Well, 3 things. The movie, we would have conversations about movies sometimes. So I guess it would make 3 things.
Yeah, that's not as far as like being known for things. It's not such a bad one.
And
What language?
Spanish, I think.
French.
French?
Yeah.
And
He gives French.
he has one of the highest scores there, and he often posts that as well.
Wait, do we follow each other?
Yeah.
Yes.
We do?
Yeah.
With both of you?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And I was always stunned, like, compete እየተደራረጉ የሚጽፉት ነገር. I'm like, hey, interesting, but I'm interesting, because
Languages are not your thing.
languages are not my thing, ብቻ ሳይሆን it's more of the fact that he actually has the dedication when most of us እዚህ ጋር ሲሆን you forget it ገብቶሻል whatever lessons you're taking from it ማለት ነው.
Okay.
Every morning ተነስቶ to actually dedicate his time to getting those numbers, I think says a lot about who he is as an individual.
Okay.
I appreciate that, but like any one of us, like anyone that's had to learn English as a second language and try to do their best to perfect it as far as like dialects, I feel like they stand a better chance at
Learning other
languages as well.
So we're talking about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Yes. What is imposter syndrome? What do you think it is?
Like the first time I came across the term imposter syndrome, I was like, immediately, that's me.
Okay.
That's what I immediately knew what it stood for, and I identified with it so quickly.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
How would you define it for somebody who has never heard it before?
For me, having been in different kinds of spaces, like career-wise and like studying stuff, I've never truly felt good at
Any of the
one
things?
single thing. Like as a person that's been drawing ever since I was like my earliest memory of like drawing stuff, replicating art pieces that I see, like be it spiritual, especially arts. Yeah, like my earliest memory of that is like when I was 3 years old. Like, I know for a fact that I was a 3 years old boy when I was trying to mimic some styles of drawing. As a person that's been doing that, you would think I should be good at like
drawing,
painting and art. And I used to think that way because there wasn't a lot of competition in high school where I was from. Nah, as soon as I got to meet other
painters,
peers, other painters, like in college, my immediate thought was, but I may not be as good as I thought I was.
I mean, that's a good milestone to reach. I mean, like, okay, continue.
Yeah, you're right. It's not such a bad thing to get to meet other people that's also been perfecting their crafts, like, be it in academically even, that like, I don't know, something about being average, that like makes me identify with it so deeply, it comes from all of my age peers are at least a grade below.
Okay.
I was ሶስት ዓመቴ ያለ ነው ምንድን ነው nursery KG ምናምን የገባሁት.
Okay. A year ahead ነው የገባኸው?
Yeah, a year ahead ነው የገባሁት, and I've never truly understood what was going on. Like for the most part, like all I remember back in kindergarten or አንደኛ ክፍል was a lot of the assignments, the classworks ምናምን ነገር, it was practically Chinese to me. Like I couldn't understand the first thing about like what it was to attend የሆነ class, grade school ከገባ በኋላ ምናምን ነገር, and it's like that kind of, I feel like that stuck around.
Oh, okay.
It probably impacted me to just like give everything I have going on at a given moment extra effort. Like sometimes I end up overachieving, other times I just end up learning that certain things aren't just for me.
Okay.
I was like but it gave me this mindset that I have to work for every single task that I have in front of me. Now it's like it's not just given for free የሚለው mindset adapt እንዳደርግ እንትን ያለኝ ይመስለኛል. Just
okay.
Thinking back on it.
What do you think imposter syndrome means?
Imposter syndrome, at least እኔ ብዙ ጊዜ የማይበት መንገድ is when you think you don't deserve your achievements, no? Pretty much you have achieved a lot of things in your life and you have accomplished a lot of things in your life, and in the back of your head you still feel like bagatami, no? Or it's just good luck, or I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And some way or another you excuse your achievements not by your capabilities, but everything else somehow gave me this nonji. I worked and achieved and found the security within myself to achieve it. Emilio Nagar was not the first instinct, no. At least my understanding of it is so, no.
Do you think you relate with the idea? Unfortunately so, because like to this day, I'm checking it today, 25,000 listeners allu to our podcasts, and I'm still shocked at that fact. But I don't know how we ended up here. Yeah.
And to this day, having been like 20 kilos heavier, I still feel like I have to diet and work out as if I have to lose more weight. I keep forgetting that I've already accomplished that, and I still think that I have to try harder because I accidentally not accomplished it. And it's not just these two things. In so many things in my life, I still feel like, accidentally no ziri charakut, so I better read enough, research enough, Google enough to make sure I stay here.
Okay.
And then you achieve more by thinking, I have to do more, which is a huge blessing, a huge, I think, the positive outcome of imposter syndrome.
Okay. What would you say is the negative outcome? Do you experience, either of you experience some sort of anxiety?
I mean, let our guests take this one first.
Anxiety is the big thing, mostly. That's one of the biggest, I would say, the biggest side effects of having to deal with imposter syndrome is like you're constantly worrying, like, do I even belong here? Like, what if somebody just comes up and just snatches my position, or just like public humiliation, like out of nowhere you fear of what might happen if somebody were to call you
challenge
out on
me, yeah.
Like you're not qualified enough for this, like this, to be speaking on this, or to just be here now. Anxiety will just kill you. That's one of the biggest things I would say is like one of the biggest features መገለጫ of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I can't help but feel like we need to find the Amharic equivalent.
Imposter syndrome?
That's like for another time. Good.
I'm sure that it exists. ከወጣም በኋላ እናስብበታለን። Yeah. ከወጣም በኋላ
ኮሜንት ሴክሽኑ ላይ እንሰማው እንችላለን።
Okay. What is imposter syndrome?
Probably going to be something goofy, gonna. It's not going to be one word.
Okay, I have a question for both of you again. So define humiliation for me? Here's the thing, like you know me enough to know I don't get embarrassed easily, and there's an unreasonable confidence I sometimes have, even when I know. No, I'll explain. I don't have anxiety in the way you do. So before I engage in some activities, there's a reasonable amount of anxiety to have, right? I don't have that. What happens is in blind confidence, ይሄድና ከዛ የፈለኩትን አረግና ከዛ መለስና oh my god, what have I done now?
That's like your edge though.
You'd think so, but like it's consistently a little bit of embarrassment experience ታረጋለህ.
Yeah,
Except nobody knows. With her, nobody can tell she's embarrassed at any point.
Yeah.
You gotta pull it through, bro. Zaga kagabash wali, you just gotta let's save it and like work with it till
So it's not so much the inability to experience that type of like feeling.
Oh,
that everybody
you
gets
do
to
feel
but,
it.
Like, yeah.
Good, like what I experience is sometimes performance anxiety and sometimes a little bit of imposter syndrome, but my relationship with the idea of humiliation, I think ከእናንተ ጋር ይለያያል, which is why I'm trying to find out what you think.
Okay, መጀመሪያ Google definition of imposter syndrome and እናንብበው.
እሺ, አንተ እስከዛ tell me what you think is humiliating.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's been the single most effective factor, like effective drive for me to just overachieve, you know.
Okay, good.
It's like, so back in architecture school, Malatin, it's the biggest things feared by all of, like, it's like a common thing among the students. Everybody knows about it. Like, they're going to trash your work.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't given it your 100%, like your 200%, sorry, what you're supposed to be presenting, you're going to be a laughing stock because they're not going to let you live it down. You're going to hear about it every day because it's going to be everybody listening to your presentation. So that's like quite enough motivation to be staying up all night working on something. Just like keeping just keep hammering it, just like until you reach perfection. It's like public humiliation is the number one fear.
Okay.
Everybody got to experience back in architecture school. That's how I know it, and vividly.
I would not want that to happen to me, no.
Yeah, I got to see it vividly. Now everybody experiences it at one point or another. Like when you look at somebody getting scolded in public, but you're just going to be like, I wouldn't want to be that person right now.
What about you? I found imposter syndrome,
Pulled it up.
according to Wikipedia, is a psychological occurrence in which people doubt their skills, talents, or accomplishments and have a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as frauds. Despite external evidence of their competence, those experiencing this phenomenon do not believe they deserve their success or luck. They may incorrectly attribute it to the Matthew effect or Dunning-Kruger effect, which I will not be covering ahun, or may think that they are deceiving others because they feel as if they are not as intelligent as they outwardly portray themselves to be. Imposter syndrome can stem from the result in strained personal relationships and can hinder individuals from achieving their full potential in their field of interest.
As much as we like to demonize imposter syndrome, even like calling it syndrome,
Imposterism የሚል term አለው.
Yeah. It's probably better to use that because something can be said for its benefits as far as being a drive to like achieving things, you know, like.
Do you not think drive exists without imposter syndrome?
I do think it exists without it, but at the same time, for me, I chose at a certain point, I chose to
lean into it.
Yeah, leaning on it and not just like be comfortable in that feeling because የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ እኔ what I remember is I just deemed it better for me to get uncomfortable, not just like keep working at whatever it is I'm working on every single time, than to be comfortable, because it's like it's as good as fog, you know, just like ማይጨበጥ እንትን any sense of achievement or success I may have right now can be taken away just like that. It's like if you've clocked it, it's like short-lived. Any success you know, just a satisfaction to me. It's short-lived.
I mean, okay. I have so many issues with what he just said. Okay.
I haven't composed my thoughts. So it was just like shooting in the dark.
Here's the issue I have with it. One, you don't need to be uncomfortable, or I don't think people can take away the skills you acquire in getting successful. It's not success itself that really matters, is you get skills. And those skills usually are not related to your profession. What they are related to is your ability in making things happen out of nothing. So when we say a person is successful, we are usually neglecting the fact that what they were doing to get there. Now, lamsale, when you say, I would hammer at my work until it becomes your idea of perfect,
yeah.
ስለዚህ you've taken something like that, and now, let's say you can no longer work in marketing, you can no longer work out እንበል. You would have to find another route in life, but you would apply the same things. That is a skill you have acquired. It's not about just being successful in one realm of your life. It's more about admitting to the fact that you have the tools. And you don't need to be like in a state of fear or in a state of discomfort in order to acknowledge that, okay, I have the skills in life now, and therefore whatever can happen ማድረግ ይችላል የፈለገው መሆን ይችላል ነው I think ድራይቭ እንዳለ ሆኖ ድራይቭ መኖር በጣም ጥሩ ነገር ሆኖ that level of anxiety is unfair to impose on a person.
Like that's the difference የቱ ጋር እንደሚቀመጥ ልንገርሽ at least for me I don't know how yours work because apparently there's 5 type of imposter syndromes. For me it's more of anything I have achieved the average person can achieve የሚለው አስተሳሰብ አለው which means every skill I have everybody else has የሚለው assumption አለ in the back of my head. So no matter how much I build, the moment I'm done building whatever it is I'm building, oh anybody could have done this number. You've seen me.
No, I share the sentiment.
Exactly. And that point like you find it okay, so if anybody can do this, which means I'm just lucky enough to have found the opportunities I have found in ONG by honoro, I would not be in this situation ማለት ተሸምራለሁ ማለት ነው at least ለኔ እንደዛ ነው የሚሰራው whatever I achieve I assume oh anybody could do it. You know, when I realized that is not the case, when I start giving dieting and gym advice to people, and then I realized it takes dedication, it takes pain. That's the reality of it. And again, the reality also is anybody could have achieved it if they had or if they're willing to have that level of pain and dedication. So anxiety የሚመጣው if anybody can have it, what's the difference between me and the people that are not here right now is luck ነው የምትይው. That's the anxiety. If I was not lucky at that point ላይ ተመልሼ ብገባ then what? You forget that the skills you have are the skills you formed by actually climbing the stairs.
Okay.
How is it for you?
I could not have said it better. Like, to expand on it, so like despite my hesitation to bring this up, it's one of the best examples I could bring up. So I'm jumping on it better. When it comes to dieting and not exercising, what you find is whatever endeavor you happen to be on. What just happened?
I'm rolling my eyes because I don't diet.
Oh no, it's like dieting is overrated term.
I know, I am being dramatic for
like,
the
I get it.
effect.
I get it. It's like dieting is the other option. It just doesn't work.
እኔ like ዳቦ ብቻ ነው ምናልባት for a limited period of time ማቆሙ በተረፈ like
but you see a lot of differences even then.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, one time I laid off dabo for like for 2 weeks ምናምን ነገር made me suicidal.
Yes.
You can't lay off carbs just like that.
Yeah.
you either have to be substituting with like quality fat ምናምን ነገር or you just it's not possible. At least የሆነ ጥሩ kind of carbs ለይተሽ እንትን ማለት አለ
እውነቱን ለመናገር let's not go there. Continue your point.
Sure. So like without going down
the rabbit hole of food.
The rabbit hole. You'll find like whatever endeavor you happen to be on, you find quickly that like there's a whole community that you feel like they're watching you. It's like it's not even a real thing. Or you find just like you find yourself in a sphere of like achievements, goals. It's just it becomes a whole reality that you just suddenly find yourself inside of. And what happens is, just like she said, like wherever you get at, it becomes the new normal. It's not such a fun feeling to feel like you're being caught up on. You just want to move forward because all of this work and what to be normal to just like fit in, it's like it becomes unacceptable in your brain quickly. Just like you want to get away from it.
Okay.
And the slight sense of discomfort, I feel like, is a good thing that everybody wouldn't mind possessing.
But that you're not there. I have like another this is a leading question.
This is such a beautiful episode.
This is a leading question.
Think so?
And I'm gonna
definitely
I apologize in advance.
Not at all.
Is she? Were you pushed extra for academic achievements when you were younger?
I was. And
you?
Wasn't everybody Ethiopia?
Yeah.
The way some kids don't react well to that kind of push, and you know what that makes them? Extremely competitive. And the term getting caught. Okay. Here's the two terms you used today that is absolutely ridiculous. One, you said, if anybody could do it, then what's the point? No. Essentially, that's what you gave. You said, getting caught up. Okay. What is wrong with being on par with people? I just need to know.
No, it's not on par መሆኑ እኮ አይደለም ይቅርታ ቀጥል
Sorry.
Yeah, defensive.
So like it's not no what she said and what I said was more how it feels like what's going on up here when we're just like how we're processing it.
No, ሲጀምር once you have that achievement, you do not think it's an achievement. It's not that we have issues with being normal. No, the normality is amazing and we hope to achieve it.
Okay, you think you're far behind normal?
Yeah. እሱ ብቻ ሳይሆን like we assume that achievement ስትባይ እኮ you have managed to either survive something or manage to achieve something, no?
And step ወደ ላይ,
yes.
I'm assuming.
When you think it's not and step ወደ ላይ or ወደ ታች, it's just average ብለሽ ስታስቢው
ፕላቶ ያደረግሽ ይመስልሻል?
yes.
Okay.
So the thing is, imposter syndrome የሚሆነው የቱ ጋር እንደሆነ ታውቂያለሽ? You don't think your achievements are achievements, no? It's not even about being above average or below average. It's not even achieving anything ብለሽ ታስቢያለሽ because clearly I didn't do anything different. If that person could have done it, that person could have done it, I have done it, so what? Because they could do it too, so it's not an achievement. That's when it becomes an imposter syndrome.
Okay. I understand.
This
think
is like the making of the person that we're describing.
No, that makes sense.
In
I
our
thought
head,
ይሄ like extreme competitive nature ወደዛ የገፋችሁ መስሎኝ ነበር. I stand corrected.
Oh no, there is a competitive nature towards it, but it's not after the achievement.
During the
like,
activities.
I cannot do it even achieving it. At that point ላይ ተቀምጠሽ ራሱ the next goal ስታስቢው, oh my god, how am I going to do this? Am I even capable of this? እዚህ ጋር lucky ሆኜ ነው እዚህ የደረስኩት. የሚቀጥለውን step like ያኔ ነው competitive የምትሆኚው.
Okay.
I have to try to be at least as good, no, not even like achievement item, as good ብለሽ ነው መጀመሪያው እሱና እሱ, because you don't think, okay, I have the average person's discipline, I have the average person's yeah, it's not a negative thing.
I love it. No, I'm not saying it's negative. It's funny that you're giving yourself such little credit, and I'm like, what delusion. What's delusion?
syndrome
I know.
የምትለው የምትመጣው እዛ ጋር አይደለ? We don't see
he
it
doesn't
as
like the term syndrome apparently.
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just like it has negative connotation.
Well,
It can be negative, but like it's not all negative. My point.
Yeah.
It's like once you get there, just like she said, you wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
You'd want to continue down that road. Like it's like when we then brought up Duolingo modern, it has extremely like huge competitive nature. Like you find somebody has taken your spot in the leaderboard, and you're like you're not even sure that they're not bots.
Oh, okay, sure.
You're not even sure if they actually exist, but like you've given them personality, and they're like, it'd be like that though. Like one time, it's just it was a run for the first place spot. I did now. Zari band she XP belcholo. 2 hours later, ምናምን check ሳደርግ እሱ he exceeded my point by like 1,000 or 2,000.
ስለዚህ he did 3,000 in a day.
In a day, in a single day ሳይሆን in like 2 hours. Like I can only imagine how competitive he must be. You know, like I just be sitting down, just like
what if he's
picture
French?
him constantly.
What if he's French?
There's a good chance. But at the same time, just like if you don't sit down for hours and not just like keep taking lessons, not making mistakes, የሚደረስበት type of number አይደለም in like 2 hours. So like it drives me insane. It drives me nuts. Like I have to
beat this guy.
Yeah, I have to beat this guy, and I don't even know where that feeling comes from. It just
there are
sneaks
5
up on
different types of imposter syndrome.
Is she? I feel like she's like relating a bit too much to what you're saying, and now she's trying to escape it.
The 5 imposter syndrome types are perfectionists, superhuman,
is she?
Natural genius, solist, and expert. While these types appear differently, all make you feel fundamentally about achievement.
Okay, which one do you think you would be categorized under?
So go again, like natural genius አለ, perfectionist አለ.
Perfectionist, superhuman, natural genius, solist, expert.
Definition አላቸው?
We can find it.
Okay.
The superhuman, I feel like I've gotten to meet some of them in real life.
Really?
Yeah, people just like I deemed that guy can't be human. Like, he can't be a human being.
So like you use them as a comparison point?
Yeah, as sort of a
a milestone to read? Yeah.
There was this kid back in high school. እና ከ9ኛ ክፍል እስከ 11ኛ ክፍል ነው እኛ ትምህርት ቤት የነበረው። አዲስ ገቢ ነበር. Everything he did, he
excelled.
Yeah, excelled at. Now I didn't understand it. It used to be that like up until 8th grade, I gave 50% of my effort by the day or by the semester. Like ምንድነው የሚባለው? Super relaxed on me. Achieve የሚደረግ ነገር achieve አደርጋለሁ. Like my parents weren't extremely disappointed. They just wished I was like ከአንድ እስከ 3 የሚወጣ ተማሪ ምናምን ነገር.
Were you?
እስከ 8ኛ ክፍል ድረስ I wasn't.
Okay.
8ኛ ወጣሁ. ከዛ በኋላ 2ኛ ሴሚስተር ላይ it was a fluke. Like 3ኛ ወጣሁ because everybody just suddenly happened to do worse በዛ ሴሚስተር. 3ኛ ወጣሁ. My average
This is a perfect example.
Because that gets better. Like it gave me የሆነ overinflated የሆነ sense of like
self.
But like it was the good kind. Like I could do this like Camilo type of feeling ሰጠኝና 9ኛ ክፍል ላይ the kid I just said አዲስ ገቢ ነው አንደኛ ነው የሚወጣው ምናምን የሚል ላይ his reputation just preceded him somehow. ክረምት ገብቶ ተምሮ ነበር እኛ ትምህርት ቤት. I was apparently the only person that haven't gotten to meet him. እና we became friends. የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ እና he just whatever he did he made sure to do above and beyond. እና ክላስ ውስጥ attentive ነው ምናምን ነገር. I was one to never listen to the teacher speaking for longer than 3 minutes tops, really. If I'm being honest, I'm mistaken, I will up. So, like, as soon as something just influenced me to mimic what he was doing in class. Just like, how's he doing it? And Milo curiosity just like compelled me to replicate his just like for success. So like,
oh god,
okay, so it's not that enjoyable experience because I don't eat ከሌሎቹ ጋር እንደዚህ የተደባደብኩ የተጣላው ምናምን just like the other kids I don't know anyway. ስበላ የሆነ enjoyable experience አለም anyway. What if I read a page or 2 pages of what we wrote today in class and not just like try to connect bits and like
pieces of that information to what
like
you already know,
what the teacher said, what I just came across. And it was beautiful. The first time I did it was like, this is an easy concept. So next week ፈተና አለ ተብሏል, which was like fairly quickly in a bit ፈተናው that year. That is soon test. I was like, this is nice, I could get used to it. Next test, the next subject, እንደዛ ማድረግ ጀመርኩኝ. We became friends. We started sitting together ምናምን ነገር. So he is one of the characters, not the only one, but like one of the characters that instilled the idea of like
I could be doing better.
It could be anything, yeah. It could be sports, it could be like playing quas, pull up, push up. It could be timirtish. Everything is connected because you operate with one brain that you have. It's not separate things. The separate things like separate brain yelan. Like everything connects. Not I was like sitting down and think I would always think he's not a real person. Like how's he real? I'm thinking back at it, I can't get in touch with him.
Why?
I don't have his phone number. I don't know where he lives. I'm starting to feel like that guy is just, he didn't exist, like fictional.
A figment of your reality.
I feel like he only existed in my imagination. Like, because
he doesn't have other friends?
He does, like,
I'm sorry. I actually tried to look for the guy with you for a hot second.
Yeah, it's fair.
Mexico, we live in a century where social media exists. So if you have a name,
can't find him anywhere.
There's a friend of mine. I like አምስተኛ ክፍል አብሬ ተቀመጥኩት ጓደኛ አለኝ. Actually 4-5-6 አብረን ተምረናል. አምስተኛ ክፍል ነበር when we were close. I thought he was really hilarious. I knew his family was a tarafa. Can't find him on social media.
Yeah, so kind of know what I'm talking about. Now, funnily enough, that semester, I didn't know that was possible. Like, let's say which channel can you outperform it, whom I respected, Sijamer, of their academic abilities.
Okay.
Just socializing, everything else. These two people were whom I thought better than me. ሁለተኛ ሴሚስተር ላይ ጭራሽ ከክፍለ ከተማ ሶስተኛ ወጣሁ. That was unreal. Like, how did I do it? That, in retrospect, like, I was doing every single thing, every single day. Like, I was making the right decisions. And it was like, it was surreal, but at the same time, the reality of it was the fact that I had, like, a support system. Like, I had these two friends, that I got to watch and observe and mimic, like, in every steps they take. It was just a constant reminder for me to not sleep. I could have done that, like, halfway through it, like, I'm
tired.
But it wasn't fun no more. Like, the idea of just, like, making a stop, it wasn't appealing for me no more.
Okay.
Like, I remember the typical feeling. Not that I could do it. Probably adapt the mindset. Probably would be
a life-altering experience.
It would, but I know there's some missing ingredients, like the support system I mentioned earlier. Then it was constant imposter syndrome. በዛ ሰዓት miserable የሚያደርግ አሁን ላይ ሳስታውሰው miserable ሊያደርግ የሚችል type of a feeling of unbelongingness ይባላል. Is that a thing?
You feel undeserving or unbelonging?
Yeah, undeservingness, but constant ማለት ነው. እሱ ትዝ ይለኛል. But I was happy to deal with it.
Okay. Do you have a similar experience?
Yeah, እንደውም I think ብዙ ጊዜ imposter syndrome ላይ የማይወራው ነገር is the fear of underachieving.
Okay.
The fear of underachieving will drive you insane. And for the longest time I could tell you it's imposter syndrome በተለይ perfectionist የሚለው point that I said.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Yeah. That explains your face ብዬ ነው
Perfectionists never completely happy with their work, fixated on their flaws instead of their strengths. You would both agree?
Just so you know, I've put faces to each.
Yeah.
Types, yes.
Okay, superhero የሚለው overwork to make up for how inadequate they feel. I feel that's...
I just described it.
Yeah. You described yourself and you kind of fell into this category.
Mama, you don't have to say it out loud. It's fine.
Is she natural genius? Set exceedingly high goals, feel crushed when they don't meet them.
He was that too. It's funny.
Okay. Is she never satisfied with their level of understanding, always trying to learn more? እነዚህ experts ናቸው. Soloist, prefer to work alone, won't ask for help for fear of appearing weak or incompetent. Anyways.
That we have covered all your friendships.
Some of them I actually relate to. Soloist and natural genius, something like a bit of here and there. I will not fully admit to this.
I don't have to say that.
Sorry, I'm telling
you. Perfectionist ላይ እንደውም I've noticed until I graduated university, I didn't try anything new. No, you've met me. I made it a point not to try anything that hard. The idea of trying that hard and failing scared me much worse than actually putting in all of that effort. So I would rather do the research, do whatever I need to do, look back at the soloist idea, and not try at all. Because the idea of failure scared you more than the idea of success. Because having put in that effort and you failed means there's something deeply wrong with you, not the situation itself. The fact that you didn't try means if you put in effort, you might have succeeded. And that hope gives you a little more bearable type of situation. And I've seen it time and time again, not only in me, in a lot of people. The fear of trying holds you back. Because if you try and fail, there is a whole nother issue to open up. So once you understand that the regret of not trying is worse than the regret of failing, your whole world changes entirely. Because then all of a sudden you don't mind all of a sudden trying to socialize with people you've never met before. You don't mind going to the gym even though you don't feel physically comfortable. You don't mind looking at your body and deciding, okay, this is my body. I can drive it to the direction I want. I can put in the effort into my life because it's the only one I've got. Because the time will pass regardless. 5 years is gonna pass. 10 years is gonna pass. The only difference, and not, you would regret it worse if you did not try at all. Instead of tried and then okay, you failed, but you learned lessons throughout the failure. But if you're smart enough to understand your patterns, the lessons you learn mean that the next year you're gonna be better at it.
Not just this particular thing, a lot of things.
Of things. Okay, so my diet failed. Why? Because I did this. Okay, so this is what I'm comfortable with. If I adjust it in this direction, I could be happy and healthy. But you have to give yourself a chance to fail because you're human. The perfectionist imposter syndrome like issue mihono, when you have somebody already expecting so much of you and you're scared of failing them, you don't even try. And your whole life you spend wondering I know I have the brains for it. I know I could have said this. I know I could have done this, but I won't because what if I do and disappoint that person, disappoint myself by failing? And it's an extremely terrifying and lonely place to be for a lot of people.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think we've covered everything we needed to cover.
Yes, beautifully put.
Yes. I agree. So what would you like to add as final points? Imposter syndrome yena anta, I think you might even have a t-shirt for it.
Syndrome lemdo mtu.
Sorry, imposterist. I don't quite relate, but I see some of the elements in me. Yeah. But misasat matnat sil gan bilch ne yalebbi. Like, bruh, here's the thing. I think I can't wait what 10. I want to see your results for የቀደመ ነገርኩ because there's definitely he's going to be an introvert. Like I can bet money and my toes on it. I don't care much for my toes.
The only fans save ያረግነው መስሎኝ እሱ ነገር.
I mean, people are into weird things. People are into weird things. Anyways, so the reason I don't quite understand these things, I understand it, I don't relate. One is, like I told you, the anxiety I felt is rather this way because at a certain point, I think the environment I lived in exceeded the amount of anxiety I can physically experience, as I just
broke.
Never mind that.
And
not like what had happened was like consequence as opposed to the action itself. So like because I'm a firm believer in being the best individual I can be, as opposed to I'm not as competitive in much of my life. Occasionally, competitiveness it's not pretty. It is not pretty. Good, like occasionally competitive more. Usually severely individualistic. So what ቅድም ስናወራ like ይሄ ለትምህርት ፕሬሸር ስንደረግ ምናምን ትዝ ይላል። so እኔ የወጣሁት ከሁለተኛ ክፍል ጀምሮ 2-3 ነው። never አንደኛ. So what I would do is underperform ነው ማረገው. So like this is the bar ላለው like ገባና I know exactly which person is going to outperform me. I will be lazy enough to just follow, but not like hardworking enough to win. You know what I mean? It's like you're going to be happy with anything I give you, so I'm just going to explore everything else I want. ትምህርት ቤት I used to dance. ዜና አቅርቤያለሁ የሆነ አመት for 2-3 years. I didn't have quite like the few set of friends. I had a lot of friends. ምሳ ሰዓት እየተደባደቡ የሚበሉት ቲም ውስጥ ነበር obviously. ማጥናት ሲለኝ not like it was more important for me, college graduates እስከማድረግ ድረስ it was more important for me to fill my life with life as opposed to achievements. And my relationship with achievements kind of skew adarega over life. Not that I think I don't have any, it's more of I would bargain for them. Like these are the achievements I want, these are the achievements I can have while also having a life in Milo. And it was important. I think fear of missing out is what I have. If that makes sense. So
next episode?
Yes, fear of missing out. I really would love to talk about it. So we'd like to thank Nati for making it to this podcast, even though we wanted you earlier, and we'd definitely love to have you again. We'd like to thank Taraki for their space, platform, and everybody that works with Taraki currently. Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Yeah.